Hello guys, welcome to the Deep Lodge YouTube channel. So today we are going to discuss life processes part 2 video. If you have not saw the part 1 video, the link will be in the description box. In this class 10 of CBSE, we are going to learn 4 maintenance processes, that is nutrition, respiration, transportation and excretion. Whenever we are going to learn one maintenance process, firstly we will go with the human body, then we will discuss about the plant body. Is it fine? Yes. Nutrition in human body. The first thing here you have to remember is the order or the sequence, how the organs are arranged in the digestive system. Mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, anus. This order is very important. In detail we are undergoing each organ also. Okay. Mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, anus. In a brief way, if I say what is the importance of each organ, the mouth has both chemical and mechanical digestion. Pharynx is the common passage of the air and also the food. Esophagus, we have to remember only one thing, that is peristaltic movement. In stomach, we will learn about the gastric gland. In the small intestine, we will learn about the bile juice and also the pancreatic juice. Large intestine is only meant for the absorption. Through the rectum and the anus, fecal matter goes out of the body. So this sequence is very important. Ratta Marlowe. Okay. And this diagram we will take as a revision part. Don't worry. When we see the food, our mouth waters. Why? Basically it is not a water, it's a saliva. Right? When the food enters the mouth has teeth, tongue and saliva. Mouth undergoes both mechanical digestion and also the chemical digestion. Mechanical digestion with the help of teeth, chemical digestion with the help of saliva. Teeth क्या करते हैं? Complex food को simple बनाते हैं in a absorbable form. This simple absorbable forms mixed with the saliva, it will become a soft, because esophagus muscles will be soft for that purpose. Mouth also has saliva. Saliva has salivary glands. The salivary glands has 3 types: parotid gland, submandibular gland and sublingual gland. These 3 glands secrete the saliva into the mouth. Salivary gland also has an enzyme. You always remember when the word ends with ASE, will mostly tell that it is an enzyme. So salivary gland has a salivary enzyme, that is salivary amylase. Enzyme naam kya hai? Salivary amylase. And also remember one thing, amylase means always we'll talk about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates digestion we'll talk about. Amylase always means carbohydrates digestion. With the help of salivary amylase, starch convert into simple sugars. Here simple sugars is mainly the maltose. If there is a carbohydrates of 100%, then only 30% of carbohydrates is digested in the mouth. Remember it. Okay. And this is the location where the salivary glands are present: parotid, submandibular and sublingual. These will secrete the saliva into the mouth. Okay. Next, after the mouth there will be a pharynx. Pharynx is a common passage for the air as well as the food. After that the long pipe will come, that is called esophagus. What we call esophagus. When the food comes now, it will be happy and it will become fat, means bulged part. And after that it will move down. After moving down, how it will look? Like this. This movement is called peristaltic movement. How this peristaltic movement will happen? By the canal has the muscles that contract rhythmically in order to push the foot forward. Muscles से होता है. ठीक है. और After that, this is esophagus and this is stomach. There is one sphincter. What is the sphincter, you can say? If there is a lot of rush, okay, many people are there, then there should be a person who restrict only one person can go in or only two person can go in, who restrict that a limited person can go. That person in our digestive system is sphincter. We call him as sphincter. And the sphincter has particular names, like if the sphincter is present between the esophagus and the stomach, we call that as cardioesophageal sphincter. What we call? Cardioesophageal sphincter. Okay, cardioesophageal sphincter we will call. When the food enters the stomach is very happy, it will expand. If it is the stomach, right, there is a present of rugae. Okay, rugae are like irregular. When the food comes na, the stomach will be like smooth, rugae will be turned like flat. Okay, in this stomach, the secretion is from the muscle that is called gastric gland. ग्लैंड से ही सिक्रीशन होता है. गैस्ट्रिक ग्लैंड, it has 3 types, which is HCl, mucus and pepsin. Remember this? HCl, mucus, pepsin. HCl, mucus, pepsin. Here the heroine is pepsin. Heroine तो pepsin है because she is inactive. कुछ भी हो जाए हम तो काम नहीं करेंगे. She is like that. Pepsin is like that. हम तो काम नहीं करेंगे. We are inactive. How can we do the work? Then hero comes. Hero here is HCl. HCl converts pepsin, who is not good because she is inactive, to the pepsinogen, who is active. HCl converts inactive pepsin to active pepsinogen. Remember, okay, this pepsinogen helps in the conversion or the digestion of protein in the stomach. Okay, we also know that HCl is a harmful chemical. Then who will protect our muscles in the stomach by the HCl? Mucus is another hero. Mucus will protect. How the mucus is present in the nose? In the same way, the mucus is also present in the stomach, which will protect against the HCl. Okay, this you have learned, only this much. And this is the diagram. Here you can see that is cardioesophageal sphincter, and here the stomach. These are the rugae that will expand. Okay, and if it is a stomach, then it have to go with the small intestine, right? Here also there is one sphincter that is called pyloric sphincter. Pyloric sphincter. Why the name comes pyloric means this part is called pyloric. This part is called fundus. So it is near that. So we'll have named it pyloric sphincter. Do you understood? Okay. This we have already discussed. These release hyaluronic acid, a protein digesting enzyme called pepsin, and mucus. Hyaluronic acid creates an acidic medium which facilitates the action of enzyme pepsin. That's the same thing. Small intestine is the longest organ in our digestive system, but the length of it varies. For example, if you take the herbivorous, they will feed on the grass. Grass में क्या होता है? Cellulose होता है, but cellulose is very difficult to digest it once. If there is a long small intestine, then the time increases, then the nutrients in the grass can be absorbed for the herbivorous animals. If you take an example of carnivores, they will feed on the meat, but the meat is very easily digestible. So they need what? They need short small intestine. For example, if you take an tiger like that, okay. Now We came from the stomach to the small intestine. This is the starting part of small intestine. Here we have learned that there is a sphincter called pyloric sphincter. This part है ना, that is called duodenum. डिओडिनम में क्या होता है, लिवर से बाइल जूस सिक्रेट होता है और पैनक्रियाज से पैनक्रियाटिक जूस सिक्रेट होता है. सो फॉर दैट पर्पज वी आर गोइंग टू लर्न दिस पार्ट इन अ वेरी डिटेल वे. ओके, I need a blank page right now. Fine. So from liver there is a secretion of bile juice, right? Bile juice has two pigments. What are the bile liverdin and bilirubin, these pigments. Okay, this bile juice will make the fat globule to a fat droplets. What we call this process as emulsification of fats. We call emulsification of fats we will call. Okay, this happens from the bile juice, and pancreatic juice has three major enzymes. Those are, the first one is pancreatic amylase and trypsin, then lipase. Pancreatic amylase, what you have word amylase means it work on carbohydrates digestion. Trypsin work on protein and lipase work on fats digestion. Okay, after the duodenum the food will next enter the jejunum and ileum, which are the parts of small intestine. There are majorly three parts of small intestine, that is duodenum, jejunum and ileum. Okay, in duodenum the bile juice is secreted. In jejunum and ileum, here we can see something called intestinal juice. The intestinal juice is like a climax hero, means it will come to the food and say, I will digest you everything. Means that will convert carbohydrates to glucose, proteins to amino acid, fats to fatty acid and glycerol. Remember that. Okay, that will convert carbohydrates to glucose, right, and proteins to amino acid and fats to fatty acid and glycerol. Okay, and that is like a complete digestion happened. Now it is over, the part is over now. Okay, now we will come from small intestine to large intestine. Large intestine somehow looks like this, right? Here कुछ भी नहीं होता है यार, water absorption and mineral absorption होता है. That is famous for absorption. Whatever left it out, it will absorb. And the food which is like undigested or fecal matter, we can say, that will go out from our body through the anus, and also here the rectum will come. Okay, so this is the process, if I could say. See, this is the duodenum. From here the bile juice is secreted, from here the pancreatic juice is secreted. Okay, read these lines. Fats are present in the intestine in the form of large globules, which are large globules we said, and that makes into fat droplets, which is a smaller droplets we call. This process is called emulsification of fat, right? And the pancreas secretes the pancreatic juice, which contains an enzyme, we call that as trypsin, which act on proteins, and lipase break down the emulsified fats, and the walls of the small intestine contain the glands which secrete the intestinal juice. This will finally convert proteins into amino acid, complex carbohydrates into glucose, and fats into fatty acid and glycerol. The same thing. And also one thing you remember, स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन में एक स्मॉल स्मॉल जैसा विलाई होता है. विलाई का मतलब हियर दे हैव blood vessels, and they will increase the absorption. These microvilli, basically we call that as microvilli because they are very little na, इसलिए microvilli. They are present in small intestine that will increase the surface area so that it maximum time stays in the small intestine for that purpose, and it is connected to blood vessels na. For that purpose the nutrients will reach every cell in the body. This is important. Okay, the same thing is written here. The digested food is taken by the walls of the intestine. The inner lining of the small intestine has numerous of finger-like projection that is called villi, which increases the surface area. They are richly of blood vessels and absorbed by each of the food and each of the cells energy, and they are utilized in obtaining the energy, building up the new tissues and repairing of the old tissues. The unabsorbed food sent to the large intestine where the wall absorb more water from its material. The rest of it, the material is removed by the body through the anus. The exit of the waste material is regulated by, there is another one sphincter that is called anal sphincter. Fine. हम एक बार रिवाइज करेंगे. अभी तो हम तो एक इमेज को लास्ट में रखे थे ना, इसमें रिवाइज करेंगे. Okay. Here we have learned from the mouth that mechanical and chemical digestion with the saliva with salivary amylase, and 30% of digestion of carbohydrates. And there is a pharynx, which is a common passage of air and the food. And here esophagus, we have learnt about peristaltic movement. Then we enter the stomach. Stomach में रोगिया होता है, and gastric gland we have learned, that is HCl, pepsin and mucus, right, like that. And this is duodenum, we have learned the secretion of bile and pancreatic juice. And in like this is jejunum and this is ileum. Here the intestinal juice we have learned. This is large intestine, and the fecal matter goes out with the anus part in the rectum and regulated by anus sphincter. Okay, एक और important बात है, क्या पता है? Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you.